This episode of Keeping Tabs is sponsored by Dootloot, your go-to vendor for non-English foils, signed and altered cards, reserve list staples, judge promos, and secret layers. Dootloot has cards for every budget, starting at just $5. It's a simple, no-nonsense card feed updated weekly, with monthly giveaways and free tokens in every order. Join the over 6,000 members on Discord and follow on Instagram at DootlootIG.
Critical EDH, pray for Olaf.
T's and P's, guys.
I think we start with that, dude. There's 2 minutes start. Let's go.
All right, fine. Yeah. We'll just use that. All right, hey everyone. I'm back. I'm alive.
Dude, Dad's home from getting milk and cigarettes, dude.
Yeah, I was planning on recording last week, but I found myself very elbow deep in many hard drives, and I had to kind of emergency rebuild a data center. So that was fun.
None of these are euphemisms, actually.
No,
that actually all happened.
Yeah, I sent pictures to the group, and they're like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, but we had an interesting week. Locals was a thing that happened here while you guys were gone. It was okay. How was the boil?
It was so sick, dude.
Yeah,
I don't think I'll ever be able to top the tournament vibes of this weekend.
The vibes were pretty immaculate.
The boil should never be taken out of New Orleans. Oops. And I think that everyone should go to the boil every year.
There was a moment where you could just see Austin's inner degenerate light up, and he's like, "Oh, I just want to be here forever."
We first of all, we went out to Crawfish Boil on Saturday night, and they're like, "Oh, it's gonna be a 40-minute wait," and I was like, I mean, bourbon's right there, so let's just go get a drink.
Yeah.
And Ian's like, "Where do you want to go?" And I was like, "I know of an absinthe bar." And he's like, "Oh, I love you." And so we went to this cool absinthe bar that was on Bourbon Street, and then had a few drinks, came back, got some amazing food. New Orleans food I will put up against any city as having some of the best food on the planet. But yeah, the whole weekend was just a good time. We got to meet Eisenherz. Hire was there. We got to go out with these guys and just have a really good time. I finally got to meet Stacko and have a good time, and have a conversation with him. So yeah, I
nice.
There's something about that city that also just brings enjoyment.
Yeah, it feels very alive. I got back home and I was kind of glad it was quiet, but also I was like, why nothing's happening?
Yeah.
There's zero.
Denver's an oddly quiet place. And the city shuts down at 9:00 on a weekday, and you're like, oh, I want to get food, and it's 10:30. Guess I'm hosed. Yeah.
I think the coolest thing for me about this weekend was I went to Fishbowl when I had been on the team for 2 weeks or something, right? It was very new. And this tournament was the first super big tournament. All the other creators are there. All the people are there. And they're all I know who you are. And to get to be friends with people that I look at as role models and inspirations in the space now was something that was not on my bingo card in any way, shape, or form. And that was a really special experience for me.
Awesome.
Yeah. I will say, as a spectator to seeing people talk to Jordan, more people know him from the Tim Nodargo Discord than they do from Crit. And I found that fascinating. I was like, wait, what?
That reminds me of when we first started Crit. They're like, "Oh, you're the Glarb guy." I'm like, "Well, sure."
Yeah.
But it was 3 to 6 months of that, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just kind of
yeah,
I do other stuff too.
It's very funny whenever I join a league game and they're like, "He's the Dargo guy." I'm like, I'm literally the worst Dargo player ever. I just think the pirate's cool. You should talk to people who are definitely not me for advice about how to do this. But there was when we were at the Crawfish Boil, I'm so every restaurant you go to for the big groups, they automatically did 20% or 25% gratuity or whatever, which is really nice. But I was going to fill out the extra chip section, and Ian walks up behind me, and they're just looking over my shoulder. He's like, interesting. And I'm like, how much money do I give for Ian not to judge me in public? And then he walks away, and he comes back after. He's like, yeah, I couldn't decide what the bit was, so I just decided to roll with that. And clearly it made you uncomfortable. I'm like, yes, it did. That.
That's really
it was
funny.
So fun though, dude. The whole tournament. Oh, also Matt from our Deck Driver was there.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. My first game was with Deck Driver.
Yeah. Jordan's first game was with Deck Driver, and he could have won it and just didn't see the line, which was crazy.
The line, to be fair, was very weird. It was like not a standard. It was Firestorm, Flare, Firestorm after resolving Breach, which is like not what you expect to try to win the game with.
So like he had brain free. He'd freezed everyone, but had no like he had exiled his Fairy Mastermind and is not on Wheel of Fortune. And he's like, I just don't know if I can do this without passing the turn. And I was like,
he was at time.
No, yeah, it was on my turn at time because I had made a deal that Sisay was activating for 5, and I'm like, I can stop this, but I need a full turn. I don't need to like
trick mind. Don't tell me.
I trick minded the shit out of Sisay, bro. So the first activation gets the background because they could only activate for 1 the first time, and it gets the background that gives her +3/3.
Oh,
so then the second one was for 5, and I was like, okay, I can not die, but I'm not going to not die just to not do anything else. So I need a full turn. And I go to crack Ranger Captain, and then Matt tried to win over the top of that, but his fairy was exiled, so he had no actual win con.
Wow.
But then like he like asked me, like he's like, I don't think I have any other win cons. Like he milled himself out and was just like, I don't have anything here. And I was like, oh, you could have theoretically before you LED'd and like done this, you could have Firestorm for like 7 and then kept flaring it over and over again.
Yeah.
To kill
awful.
them. Yeah. I was like, it's not a good line. It's a really, really bad line.
What?
But you did have a way of killing someone.
All that matters is it works. Like,
yeah.
That's awesome that
it's
he
like very funny to like have to so like as I'm negotiating, like, okay, I need a full turn. I need an actual main phase. You can't just kill me in upkeep. I'm like, you're also, my full turn does not equate to you Emrakulling me so that my turn is being Emrakul. And he's like, okay, yeah, sure. As he's staring at the Emrakul in his hand.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
No, it's awesome to see him out at like a huge tournament like that. Obviously, like he was at the side events for the Invitational, but and also like traveling to. I mean, I don't know if that's his like first big tournament, but let's just assume it is.
Yeah.
Like that's a massive thing to do, and like I remember that feeling, and I think a lot of us are chasing that feeling for what it's like to go to tournaments. Even now, like we want to go to these big tournaments and stuff, but I don't know. I'll never feel like I felt when I went to. I don't even remember what it was. Was it Fishbowl? Might have been Fishbowl.
It was probably
like
Fishbowl
5. Well,
Snowy too.
Okay, but that's a big tournament that's here. But I mean,
sure.
You know, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
sounds like
he was also really happy about how he played. He just like couldn't close out games. Is the problem? Surprise, Ragesh.
Yeah, I think he had 4 draws. I think he was like, bro, I had the win in every game. I just couldn't quite get there.
Yeah.
But the thing that, and Austin and I talked about this, just to like fully glaze Matt for a minute, like for someone who's been in the format for as long as he has, I was really, really impressed with how he plays and like thinks about the game.
Yep.
I mean, he did better than I did in the Redemption event, and he was in the top pod with Austin and Gold.
And first seat.
Wait, he was in first seat?
Yeah, he was in first seat that event, dude.
No, it's like
he cast Relic, and then he cast Floodcaller, and then he cast Ishai, and I'm like, oh, we're so fucked, bro.
Yeah.
Like, there is no world where we're not dying to this untapping bird.
Wow.
Yeah. But
and Paradise
it was a really fun event. A really fun weekend. But yeah, in general, like I said, from what I understand, I wasn't part of the format when the last boil happened. But it was in Georgia, correct?
I think so.
I don't know. No idea.
It can never be taken out of New Orleans. That is I will never miss a boil. That shit was so fun.
The venue was also beautiful.
Yeah.
Like the hotel was really nice. It was in a good location.
It sounds like we're going to need a second
round was great.
critical EDH camera to take with you guys. Like if you're not bringing, me and the rest of the gear, like we're going to need another camera for photos and stuff.
It's so much fun, dude.
And just like the level of play was crazy high. The whole tournament, like I didn't have a bad game.
By the way, Logan.
I know. I was going to get into this, but if you guys want to keep talking about the boil, I can just switch to the boil tab.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I'm up for whatever. This card's crazy.
But now I'm on the event.
So Reagan absolutely bodied me in Swiss. I had turn 1 tithe and to turn 2, it would have been turn 2 double study from flash photography. I did not get a turn 2 because she just drew natural breach combo and killed us all on turn 2.
Wow.
But she was really fun to play with. I had a very embarrassing moment with Alan. That was super fun. He was in my player meeting pod.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, I know Alan. He's the Heartwood guy. So I'm going to like talk to him about my Heartwood guy who's like poisoning the minds of all of the innocent people in the world. And I look across because Alan he was supposed to be in first seat. He sat in the second seat. So I'm looking at this random person. And I'm like, bro, how do you feel to see so many Heartwoods out in the wild? And he's like, I don't know. And Alan's like, well, I've been the Heartwood region guy in my region for a long time. I'm like, I'm not talking to you. And then come to realize after the fact that I was in fact trying to talk to him, which was great.
So funny. That's so funny.
No, why is this card in here, bro?
There's a Razaketh.
I will tell you with Alan's deck, like he is trying to find Tithe first, and then find Heartwood.
Makes sense.
Right? Like,
yep.
Yeah. So it does make sense, but
yeah, I mean, it seems like there's a really interesting set of top 16. Like, I mean, Rocco, Rog Thras, Rog Ishai, Rowan. Obviously, we see Kinnan, TK, 2 Rog Ishais. Okay.
One of these Rog Ishais bought a proxied Rog Ishai from Adam, had never played it before.
I believe that's Ristic that did that.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was, but that did happen to someone that was in the top 16, which
Crazy.
is bananas.
Austin and I both turbo exploded to Garner on Magda. That was really fun.
Yeah, that was the game I full punted. That definitely I should have won, unfortunately.
Waiting for the Twitter post where you guys say it's against your morals to lose to Magda, and you apologize. And
you know what's really bad is like we tried to stick to our morals, but we both mulled to 3 against the 2 decks that we refused to lose to.
Yeah, it was Magda and Arkham both, and we're like, well, okay, we can't lose this game. We're like known as the people who don't lose to these decks. Flash cut. But what was really funny is Garner comes up to me after the fact, and he goes to like shake my hand. He's like, you played a good game or whatever. He's like, so who are you guys exactly? Because I like finished this game.
That's fantastic.
And all of the like Magda Discord players were like, you beat the crit guys. And he's like, so do you like what's your thing? So I explained the channel or whatever. And I'm like, I'm really sorry in advance if you watch any of our content. We say your deck is bad a lot. So like, we're glad to have you subscribe, but just disclaimer.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way,
he was great.
I also talked to him a little bit after our game too, and he is not the writer for the Magda Discord or the Magda Primer, but is like the idea guy behind it. Someone else like writes it all, but like there's he basically has like the Gitrog Primer, but it's for Magda, and apparently I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool.
This is you guys after losing to Magda. Japanese extreme apologizing.
Yeah, dude. It's exactly true. Dude, my post on Discord today, the April Fool's joke was great, bro.
What? Wait, which was that?
I just posted being like, oh, after losing to Magda this weekend, I considered a top 5 deck in the format. And so many people were like, oh, dude, I'm so sorry.
Very funny.
Yeah, I guess happy April Fools as well.
Yeah, happy April Fools. We'll get into we'll consolidate all the best jokes for next week for sure.
Sure. Yeah, I don't like pinging the masses over April Fools. It's just very cringe. So I'd rather keep it kind of low key. But I guess we can talk about this card now. For some reason, they're printing cards that are banned in our format on other cards, and they're not banned. That feels
it's really interesting.
Weird.
So I don't know if this card sees play.
All right, but for the audio listeners, we have to read the card. So,
yeah.
This is Yavimaya Bloomsage. Is a creature, Dryad Druid. It's a 2/2. Beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Then, if that creature has power 7 or greater, this creature becomes prepared. Maelstrom Wonder. For 2 green, you can channel. Just the card channel. Until end of turn, you can. Anytime you can activate a mana ability, you may pay 1 life. If you do, add a colorless mana.
So there's like a bunch of cards in this set that are having like reserve list cards or banned cards stapled to bodies. So like Wheel of Fortune's getting reprinted, quote unquote. Ancestral Recall, the white spell, I'm forgetting which one it is, but there's several. I think this is like maybe playable in Team Dargo specifically, just because the clause of power 7 or greater is like fairly unlikely for most decks in our format.
Is Jen Dargo too fast for it?
Oh, I mean, Jen Dargo's interesting, but you don't have anywhere to put the mana, right?
Oh, sure. Team Dargo, you can
The-
activate Thrasios at the cost of 4 life.
Yeah, it's like you also have a higher likelihood of being able to go immediately. Okay, end step trigger, prepared, cast channel, turn that into mana with flash.
Yeah.
Versus in Jen Dargo,
Yeah.
that's like really not an option. Or it's an unlikely option, I'll say.
I also like
Yeah.
that you, like, the effect is attached to the creature, but once you cast a spell, if it resolves, the spell is resolved. You don't need the creature anymore. So, like, you can use this to just, like, Dargo fodder.
Yep.
So, it's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that's true. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think like it might see some playtesting just in Dargo decks. Maybe like Maelstrom Wanderer. I mean, maybe a Tali, but I think that's like really cope.
But, like, Atali, you don't need mana after you cast Atali. Like,
Right.
not like
yeah, but
this.
like if you whiff, right? Like if you whiff after like cloning it once and then Natali's back in the zone, then like this gives you a guaranteed next go.
No, but it's at the beginning of end step, right? So you'd have to put a +1/+1 counter on Atali. Then Atali would have to go.
No, but like it's a twin flame token.
Oh, I
could
understand. You're putting it on the token instead of the
Yeah.
main one. Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, it makes
so
sense.
it just like gives you a guaranteed next turn jam.
Yeah.
But like I don't know if that's good enough. But
Atali rarely
I think
needs like
someone
these
will.
backup plans, though. It might change the
Yeah.
strategy of whether you keep the original versus keeping the token.
Yeah.
I'm very curious. Like, we've obviously seen the Archmage Emeritus blue with Ancestral Recall on it, but they did confirm during the live stream that all 5 monocolors are getting Emeritus with like a reserved list card stapled to it, or like a very powerful card stapled to it. And
Okay.
but we don't know what any of the other ones are yet.
Oh, so we
Well,
only
so-
know the blue one?
Correct.
No, the black one has reanimate, which is like maybe not reserve list, but it is an insanely powerful effect. I would
That
assume that's what they're
is
looking
not
at.
one of the Emeritus cards.
Yeah. So this is part of the commander set. I think you're talking about
Yeah.
part of the main set, right?
Yeah, so they confirmed on stream that just like they have for the Emeritus of Ideation, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this
this
one.
card. All 5 colors
Interesting.
have this effect at a mythic rarity.
Wait,
and we
so
don't
the
know what-
Yavi Maya's not.
Correct.
The
The
Emeritus
Yavimaya
one?
is
It's not main
not
set.
the green mythic.
So
Yeah.
channel
Yeah.
doesn't qualify as an insanely powerful effect. Interesting.
I mean, it does, right? Like in its own way.
Yeah.
But also, like, the conditions of that card are very strange, whereas this is not that strange. It's
It enters
Yeah.
prepared, right?
yeah.
And it's like Kitten just bouncing on it gives you Ancestral Recall as often as you want, which is like bad, but
It's
is a
pretty
thing that
good.
you could do. Yeah.
It is a thing you can do. Yes.
Hold
we
on.
have
Wait. Is Kitten plus Tithe plus this like a win?
yes.
Kitten plus
Because it says
Tithe.
target player draws 3 cards.
Yes, but it's very interruptible.
Not under Abolish, or it's not? Which is
Yeah,
blue,
under
which,
Grand Abolisher.
Hold on.
Like
Hear me out.
technically true, but even then, like you're still giving them their Otawara or something along those lines. Like it's still very scary to do something like that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Is this
Someone-
giving Azorius a tool that it didn't have before? Maybe.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I could see it.
Someone
I
did
just-
message me about Delny, and it's like, okay, bro, if you had Delny, Kitten, Emeritus, then you're in the clear because you can flicker a rock with Emeritus, and you'll
Oh
always
my
have blue
God.
mana.
I would just rather have Ska. Like Ska plus
Yeah.
this plus
But that's red.
Sure.
We're talking about Azorius, the best colors in cEDH, Austin.
Notorious for winning very often.
I'm gonna stop talking then.
Hey, I played Shorekai at locals, and the deck was fine. Did okay. Yeah, I kind of had like I think there was like a Rogthras and a Kinnan, and I like turn 3 just like ripped a oh god, what's the whiteboard wipe that cost reduces?
Oh
Out of time.
Nope, not that one.
no, it's like a based on the amount of creatures that are in play.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember.
Like something in no, I don't remember what it is.
All right, I gotta look. Hold on. This is. We can cut all this out. It's fine. The card is called Vanquish the Horde.
Vanquish.
Oh,
cEDH
yeah.
staple.
That is. Yeah.
Vanquish the Horde. I just ripped the Vanquish, and they're like, "We don't have anything for this." And I'm like, "Sounds great."
Yeah, I think that I like just kind of pivoting off of that right there. Like I do want to kind of talk about the current builds of Rogdrass are so greedy. There's so many Rogdrasses that are running on like 5 pieces of interaction,
Yeah.
and are
Yep.
just like turbo Rogdrassing, and like they just get obliterated by any border interaction, and they're gambling that it's not there.
Like literally, what's happening in the art of this picture is what happens to them.
Yeah, exactly.
I did
Like,
Firestorm or Rogdrass this weekend, and they had like in a lot of metas that are not as familiar with Rogishai, no one has seen Firestorm yet.
Oh no.
And so I cast Firestorm for 5, and they're like, I need to read that card. I'm like, yeah, you do, buddy.
Yeah, it says you get to sit in a corner.
Yeah, you get to no longer play the game, is what this card says.
Yeah.
It's a messed up magic card. It's very
It's really
strong.
good. It is really good.
But yeah, I think our takeaways from this set so far, from what we've seen, there's a lot of cool design going on.
Yep.
Agreed.
The art doesn't suck for the most part. I think there's some questionable things, but a lot of it's really, really good. We'll talk
Yep.
about some other cards later too. But I think all of us are just really excited. Like we've been talking in our crit chat, like as soon as there's spoilers, we're talking about cards and we're super excited. It's been a while since we felt like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just like some of the like fringe cards too, right? Like there's going to be some cards in this set that are good for fringe strategies that
Yep.
I'm very excited to see.
The Exhibition Tide Color is one that people were talking about a lot. It's basically blue DRC. If you cast an instant or sorcery, target player mills 3 cards. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah,
As
low
like part
key,
of your
this
free
is like
strategy.
low key. This is one of the best cards I've ever seen printed for Master of Keys. I'm like not joking. It's insane in the deck. Like it's so good.
I'm sure it is. I think this is a
Okay.
legitimate like farm could run this. Like I don't think it's that good.
Absolutely.
But like
Yeah.
even like Rogsai could run it. It's a 0/2, turns on flare.
Mhm.
I mean, it's pretty sick. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I like legitimately think this card's like will see play, or at least it will see testing. But like the
If
only
it
reason
were
why
a
I'm saying like Master
1/2
Keys, the only reason why I'm saying Master Keys is because there's a lot of keys lists that are playing Hedron Crab, and like, come on.
This is just like an actually playable Hedron Crab.
Yeah, I played against Tameshi in round 1, and they were also playing Hedron Crab, and I was like, yeah, like that's. But like this is just
That is
another
a
one of
card.
those effects, which may be
Mhm.
better, especially in
Yep.
like a stack where you can just target somebody that's like, oh, I just top deck tutor, and you're like, no.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, and I think that's like another thing that like talking about this card, like even in like decks like Rogishai or Cope Farm or something like that that wants to fight on the stack, like being able to use this offensively to start attacking someone's library so they are running out of pieces of interaction. Like
Yep.
if you don't think they're going to be able to resolve a breach, then like targeting someone else is usually a good thing sometimes. Right?
I mean, there's
Like,
just decks in the format that don't run breach or don't use the graveyard strategies. Like Shurikai
Yeah.
is one of them, and he was at this point just like, oh, you have Versic and Ties, I'm gonna start milling you, and I'm like, there's not much I can do about that. And then
Mhm.
like he milled over my swords, and I'm like, I lost my chance to swords the crab.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay, well, like a good chunk of my deck is going away, and there's like nothing I can do about it. So it's definitely interesting. I don't know how good it is, but it's not like bad.
We're also
yeah, I mean, also like finding it off a Ranger Captain.
Yeah.
also
Go ahead,
the
Jordan.
second sentence does trigger off of Nas, notably.
Oh no.
That's kind of crazy.
It also triggers
Yeah.
off Force of Will?
Yes.
Wait, no mana.
No,
Mana was
no,
spent.
no. You have to
Oh,
spend
You
that
just
much
spend the
mana.
mana. Hmm.
Yeah, it works on Nas. I don't know of any other 5 mana spells people are like hard casting often.
Oh, peer into the abyss.
Crom.
Oh, sure.
No,
yeah.
Crom doesn't. Crom's not a sorcery. No, but I think like the biggest thing I'm getting about this set is that there's very intentional design. They
Yeah.
word things a certain way. Obviously, like Opus is not Magecraft. It's close, but it's not
Yeah.
Magecraft. And I think that we like, as players, we really like to see intentional design in the cards, because on the other side, we end up with cards like Nadu. And it's like, well, that was very clearly not intentionally designed. And, it runs into problems, or there's just like kind of sloppy design, but these are not that way.
Guys,
It's like interesting spaces where you can create powerful effects that aren't like just straight up broken. Like there's room for these and they're playable, but not like slam dunk cards. And I think that's
Yeah.
interesting to kind of push the limits of what people consider valid or like a good strategy.
Guys, if this had Magecraft, it would be so insane.
Oh, bro.
Just like Flusterstorm, someone mill someone else out. You're just like, yeah, get out of here.
Or just double up on your brain freeze.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
The one exception to that, so they did talk about this during the announcement, was that they have several like new mechanics that are supposed to be strict, like fixed versions of existing mechanics, except for the 5 Elder Dragons. So like the 5 different schools within Strixhaven get a new Elder Dragon that is supposed to like represent what that school is known for. And Quandrix has Cascade instead of Discover, was like their main thing, because Discover was supposed to be like the fixed replacement for Cascade.
Yet Discover ended up being way more broken somehow.
Yes.
Because it was usually attached to an ETB.
Yeah, but
Oh, yeah.
Which is problematic.
That's a really interesting concept, too, because, like, Miracle was broken. Storm is, like, obviously very broken. Cascade is very broken. Casualty is, like, is it? But it's, like, a very cool effect. And then Witherbloom is Affinity, right? Which is, like,
it's Affinity for creatures, which has never been printed before.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. That deck is, like, I saw some meme that was, like, 3 months ago, a Wizards designer ran into the Commander format panel panting, saying, guys, I need you to unban Biorhythm. I'm cooking right now. Which is basically all that card is good for.
Hold on. Dude, Waffle almost got biorhythmed this weekend.
Oh, really?
From an Atali, dude. Yeah, dude. Atali resolved a turn to Atali or something like that. Hidden Apex Devastator. And then hit a biorhythm, and apparently someone countered the biorhythm.
Who's Apex Devastator? Like their own?
What? Yeah, they hit their own Apex Devastator in Atali.
Yeah.
And almost killed the table with a biorhythm, which is insane.
Very funny.
Jesus.
We did get new dual lands, sort of, but they're actually horrendous.
They're so bad. They're so bad.
They enter untapped if your opponent controls 8 or more lands.
No. If your opponents control 8 or more lands.
Okay, sure.
Collective.
So it's a dual land on turn 3 or 4.
Yeah, it's like a casual. It's like really good and casual. Like
they're in the
really
main set.
Casual.
I think they're in the.
I think they might be the commander.
Okay,
they might be.
That's not the
They
worst
might
thing
just be
I've ever
in
heard.
the commander set. Yeah.
Well, Wizards will find new and interesting ways.
Also,
to
I do
avoid
want to
printing
just talk about the
duels.
Silver Quill card. Talking about Silver Quill, like this plus a Bowmasters if someone has a Rhystic Study is actually kind of scary.
Sure, because you sack the token.
You just like keep sacking the token and you keep getting casualty tokens or casualty copies.
It's kind of interesting.
It's interesting. I don't know like if that has something to do, but like it could. Like I could see this just cook someone.
Is it like cast Peer into the Abyss, casualty it, target your opponents with your Bowmaster? They lose half their life. They die.
They die. Yeah, I mean, like, there's definitely some things you could do, specifically in the partner event that's coming up soon. It's kind of dope.
Wait,
no, Bride. I finally found what I want to play for that tournament. I'm like 99% sure I'm playing Dargo Chatterfang. I think that's very
sick.
gross.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do think that this card has like some possibilities. It isn't a bad color combination, but it's still cool.
Yep. Well, it's half an hour into the episode. It's time for us to actually do our work for advertisement. Coming up, we have the Stock Up. This is April 11th and 12th at the Denver Livestock Center. I know that sounds very strange, but it is a very cool place, and the Denver card shows are there like a lot. I think I've been there twice. Pretty fun time, and it's cool to have a charity event. And obviously, Everyone's Bad at Magic is hosting this alongside us. We're just kind of helping out and promoting and stuff. But this is going to be a really awesome charity event, and we hope you go.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. We have so many good local tournaments coming up in the next
Yeah.
couple of months. It's going to be.
I wish I could go to this. Unfortunately, I can't.
Yeah. And then obviously we have to talk about the Siege, June 13th and 14th of 2026. This is going to be at the Doubletree Hotel in Thornton, which doesn't sound like Denver, but it's basically Denver. It's just north. So if you're flying in for this event, it's very close. And hotels on site, it's really nice. The space is incredible. I'm not sure if there's pictures of the actual space. Not yet, but we'll have all kinds of vendors. They're raffling a Gaia's Cradle, which the price of Cradle is going up by the day. So, that's really nice. And this is going to be the biggest event in Colorado so far. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, I think there's already 100 people signed up for this event.
It's
Which
almost
is insane.
3 months away.
I think it's like 90 something when I looked earlier today. It might be 100 now.
Yeah.
I know there's a lot of people planning on coming out for this. I talked to a few of the Monolith folks this past weekend, and several of them are planning on coming. And then, it's still 2 months away. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if this hits a diamond. I'd actually be shocked if it didn't hit diamond at this point.
And we've seen other events like even I don't even know if the Boil had this many people signed up this far out.
No, it didn't. It did not.
Denver is a great place to visit this time of year too. It's going to just be nice and beautiful. So make a whole vacation out of it if you have to. Yeah. And then now we officially have a LobbyCon tournament, which I don't know if this is this is like what we did for Combat the night before.
Yeah.
At Level 7 North, and that was super fun. There's pictures from Waffle somewhere online. If you look at the combat photos, they're up there. But packing out that store and that room is so fun, and just getting to see people that we wouldn't normally see at our locals is really cool too.
Yeah, I agree.
Be having ready Shauna invade our locals was weird.
Be ready for this to be boiling hot, though. I'd just be ready.
Oh no, the air conditioner was broken last time. Not just at combat, at level 7. So John's
nice.
like, oh no, it's
even better.
We'll be fine. But yeah, this is the night before, and 64 players, $10. So it's looks like our locals, but payout's good.
Yeah.
We are partnered with Mana Vault Proxies. If you want to buy some of our decks, we've got 4 up there right now. I'm going to work with Notorious to add some more. But these proxies are awesome and really help the community have a source of U.S. made proxies instead of having to wait for China and tariffs and all that stuff. If you want good quality proxy decks, this is where to get it. You can use code CRIT for 5% off.
Yeah, if you're just itching for a trick binder or commandeer in your life, we'll find room.
God, you can get commandeer out of the Shurikai deck. I don't know.
That's true.
You can't get trick bind out of that one though. And since it's April 1st, we've got our April League starting. This month is going to be a little bit shorter because we have another event coming up at the end of the month. And unfortunately, the way the systems work, it's really not, it's just kind of complicated for us to overlap. But this one's going to be running from April 1st to the 17th, so a little bit longer than 2 weeks. But it's kind of our normal details. We're partnering with Casting Cost, cEDH, and Otaku Artist. And if you purchase anything from Otaku Artist or join the CCC Patreon, you can get free entry to the league.
Yeah, so Otaku Artist, they do custom tokens for people. Mm-hmm. So what's going to happen is the top 4 will be able to request whatever they want, essentially. And it's pretty cool. I've used them before. They made some Heartwood Storyteller triggers. These are them. And I really like them. It's like supporting a community member. And they're really cool.
God, this must be so triggering for people. If you're going to use these in a tournament, you're like, tree. No, stop.
It's tree folk?
Oh, God. Yeah, that's cool. And then I did want to share the Casting Cost cEDH Patreon. They always do a really good job about releasing their content early on Patreon. I know we don't always do that, and actually usually never do that, but we try when it's able, or when we're able to do that. But yeah, go check them out. It's the second time we partnered with them, but we really like these guys.
Yeah, they're great. I wish they could get out to more tournaments, but they have some lives.
Yeah.
Out there.
Right. Austin, you want to talk about this?
Yeah, so this is our Fringefest. We are running it from April 18th to the 30th. all of the proceeds of this event, which is they're a little bit higher in for the entry. All of it goes to either prizing or to support our judges. We really like this from the last time that we did a sprint, and the quality of play during that sprint was really, really good. We did do a little bit of a twist. So we're known here in Denver to do a Fringe Festival that people really wanted to get in on the last time we talked about it. So we are doing it as a sprint league.
Do you want to give a
basically
quick history of like the Fringe Fest? Just like a 30-second.
Yeah,
Like
so the
what it was
Fringe
like
Fest
in
is
Denver.
basically like, hey, what if cEDH banned all of these good commanders from being commanders, right? So you can't have partners, you can't have more than one card in the command zone. You can't have. We decided this time to just basically say you can only run 3 colors, not more, but you can do less. That's fine. But yeah, so like you don't have to worry about seeing Kinnan across from you or Tim Necrom or any of these things. So you're able to really explore some of these like lesser known commanders and like play them in this tournament.
Or the number 1 deck in the format, Magda.
Yeah, you can't play Magda. Wait, is Magda should be on the list actually.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure Magda's on the list.
It's an excellent deck. It took down 2 notable members from Critical EDH.
That is true.
On stream,
I will say
On
like this
stream.
list is very curated to our local meta because it is from our local meta, right? So
Yeah.
some of these lists or some of these commanders, you're gonna be like, why is this on here? And it's like, oh yeah, we can't just like let Austin play Helga in the Fringe Festival, right? Like,
Yeah.
same thing with like Kevin. Like, you
have
can't play
access to
Chatterfang.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so funny this weekend seeing. So Kevin played Route at Boyle.
Mhm.
But I just overheard so many people talking about how cool they thought the Chatterfang deck from Albuquerque was
Yeah.
this weekend. And Kevin was like, yeah, this is what I do, bro. I like do well on it. I retire it for a while so people forget about it. And then I come back to it and just
Did
kind of
Pigeon play
cycle.
Elsha?
Yeah, they
Pigeon played
traded.
Elsha, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
By the way, shout out to like Pigeon is notorious for playing Turbo in our meta, right? It is fascinating seeing him play a mid-range control deck. I loved it. I was like, this is great.
Yeah. I mean, Elsha has its like turbo elements too, which is very cool. But yeah, it's definitely like a sit and wait kind of deck sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just check out the ban list before you start designing your decks around it because there is a lot of stuff on there. But yeah.
We will make jokes at your expense about your ability to read or lack thereof if you ask us questions that have been answered already.
Yeah.
Dude, the best part is this list, dude. People just ribbed me because Yidris is on here twice, essentially.
Like all 4 color commanders are banned. Also, Yidris.
Yeah, also Yidris.
Just in case you thought you were on to something.
So the Fringe Fest one, I came up with this idea. I was just like, hey, it'd be so cool to just play like enforce an off meta strategy. And I was thinking the only way to do this is really just to ban commanders. And it turned into just banning partners, banning all this stuff. And obviously it's evolved a little bit since then. But Fringe Fest 1, Aegis wasn't banned. I think like a couple of the other 4 color ones weren't banned. Like Brea wasn't banned. And we all just assumed that Jason was going to bring Brea and just be like, oh, well, I'm playing farm, but it's Brea and I have +1 flex slot or +2 flex slots or whatever. But I think Jason played Marnius. There was a lot of Marnius and a lot of Rocco at that first Fringe Fest. And like neither of those decks were super popular at the time. And this was right after the bannings of like Dockside and stuff like that. So no one was playing Rocco. Like they're like, oh, this deck is ass. Like it's it's actually bad. But yeah, I played Yeager, so I was like, I don't know, it just seems like good. I played like Waste Nod and a bunch of other like random stuff. But I just in finals I just ripped the Nas on turn 2 and everyone kind of stared at me because there were 2 Rocco players and like a Marnius and they all just kind of stared at me and they're like, resolves, I guess. I was like, cool. So I won that one. And then Fringe Fest 2, we ran it back and obviously Aegis was banned for that event. And I was like, whoever wins, whatever deck wins, needs to be banned for the next one. Kind of just makes sense. And then I played Shorkai because it wasn't banned. And it wasn't just me deciding the ban list, but like no one was really playing Shorkai. Like the deck wasn't performing or doing well. But I just like, I don't know, I felt like it would do fine. And then, sure enough, deck did great. I ended up winning that event, won a Grim Monolith, which was nice. And then there was so much chatter about like the event online. People are like, "Oh, you should do a league. You should do a league." I'm like, "Yeah, but like, I don't want to do a whole month. Like a whole month is a
Yeah.
lot." But we also wanted to give people time to like build their deck and like announce the ban list and all that stuff. So after the success of the first sprint league, which was over the holidays, the winter holidays, it just kind of made more sense to do a sprint league for this, and like gives people a reason to try something new and have fun and compete.
What are you guys playing for this? If you want to say publicly.
I think there's a good chance I play Marchesa or Master Keys. Realistically, it's Master Keys.
Oh my god. It's so weird because you have to reevaluate like your pet deck to be like, okay, I know my pet deck, like for example, Master Keys. It's a fine Esper deck. It technically does things and it's fine, but like in the meta, it's not very good. But in this,
correct,
it's probably really good.
I just can't not play this altar. Like it's so sick.
It's
It's
really cool.
so sick, dude.
All I'm saying is that Maelstrom Wanderer is not banned, and it's not because I didn't ban it. It's just because it's not good, but it might be good enough in this.
Look, dude, Helga got banned. I think Maelstrom Wanderer should also be banned.
You've
but
placed in events with Helga. I have not placed in events with Maelstrom Wanderer.
Okay, you know what's crazy? I've like really thought about this. I think my conversion rate with Helga is above 80%, which really irritates me.
I keep telling you should play it.
It's so bad. Like we played it in LobbyCon. Like
not true.
Sorry, let me rephrase this. We played it. Everyone played it at LobbyCon. There was a lot of people that played Helga at LobbyCon, and it failed miserably in every game unless I played it, which was crazy.
See, I'm the opposite with Maelstrom right now. Like I know the deck does incredibly stupid things, but every time I sit down and play it, just something random happens. Like there's a turn one Draneth, or there's something. I'm like, oh, okay, of course. But then like I handed the deck to Zach Adler at LobbyCon, and I walked away for like 10 minutes. I walked back, and he's like, "Are you guys good to concede?" I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah. It seems like it still does the thing."
You've had like just a string of very bad luck at locals. I feel like the last couple of weeks or month, really.
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
What about you? What would you play, Jordan?
I might play Balin. It was my favorite casual deck, and it's like a little bit better. I'm just gonna talk to Sam about his list because he top 16 our normal league with Balin. I think more than once.
Yeah.
But
I also think like the Cabbage Merchant, that Cabbage Merchant deck is actually kind of gas.
Yeah, it's sick.
It's starting to see a lot more play.
I will give our viewers a hint as to what the two best decks are that are not on this list. They both play Food Chain.
Oh, that makes sense. I actually kind of agree with you there.
But yeah, I'll talk to you guys after it.
No. I think I already know which ones they are.
Yeah.
Realistically, all three of the Sultai Food Chain commanders are good.
Oh, sure. Okay, I know at least one of them.
Right, but one you can't play because they're partners.
No. I'm saying there is 3 Sultai Food Chain commanders that are still very good.
Oh, you're right, but there's one that's just way better than the other two.
I maybe disagree with you on the one that's better than the other two.
Okay, sure. Well, chat or viewers, if you have any ideas about what those decks are, please leave them in the comments. And I'm not talking about Maelstrom Wanderer, even though it is a Food Chain deck. I'm not including it in that. But yeah, I mean, I think this event's gonna be really fun. I'm really looking forward to seeing what kind of happens to the meta after this, because I think there's gonna be enough people participating in this at this point that very real things will come out of this that it forces innovation.
I mean,
no one was playing Marnia, right? When we did the first like Fringefest, and then Marnius is like now a very real deck.
That was because of Tim, though.
Oh yeah, for sure. But it's going to be the same thing, right? Like we have those kinds of players in our league all the time.
I think we have 2 locals that played Marnius because they started playing the deck at Fringefest.
Oh, really? Sick. That's cool. I will also say this is like a hint at a future sprint. I would not be surprised if we do a partner sprint. Everything has partner sprint.
Probably.
brewing for the Everything Has Partner event is insanely fun. It's really fun.
I like the sprint events because they give us the flexibility to change the rules without too much of an impact on normal
Yeah.
day-to-day operations. Like we could even do a sprint that's like a no slop sprint where it's no Ristic, no tithe, and just see what happens. No, we could ban that too. That'll be on the list. Don't worry. Hardwood Storyteller will be on the list for sure. But I mean, I'm just saying, like, we could, not to say that that's like on our roadmap, but we could test out these things. We could test out
Absolutely.
different, okay.
If we wanted to make this like actually Fringe, you would also, in addition to you can only play 3 colors, you would ban Grixis as a color combination.
I like kind of agree with that. Grixis is just broken as a color combination.
But what's weird, and I won't dive too much into the rationale and things that have happened in our local Fringe Fest, but like, because everyone assumed that Grixis was like, oh, you just played Grixis Shell. And I'm like, yeah, but I just played Drannith. And like, then they die. And so then it turned into like, well, actually, maybe Drannith is overpowered because everyone's going to be on these like commander centric strategies.
Yeah.
So it was this weird kind of space where you're like thinking about what the meta is going to be like, and everyone kind of just shows up and plays and then see what happens.
Yep.
So, speaking of showing up, we have 16 players from the March League that we finally finished, and congrats to our top 16. Kenrith dominated our league for some reason.
Yeah,
Kenrith has been bodying the league, dude. And also, Kenrith's not even playing Kenrith. Like, they're LARPing as themselves, playing as
Rogeshai.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is still in costume, though, which is very funny.
That's very cool.
I shout out to Max P that was like 12th until yesterday and then just isn't on this list now.
He's like, I'm in South Africa and I bubbled out of the league. He's like, what the hell?
Dude, I hope he's having a good time. I'm like super sad he missed the boil, but like that's a real good reason. Being on a family trip in South Africa sounds awesome. So
we see a lot of new names up here too, which is very cool. And some of them returning ones. And Charles Beck is killing it, which is awesome. And obviously Matt Hayes, and just, it's cool to see returning names and also new ones. I like that a lot.
I don't know if this is still what Harm is playing, but so Harm also just like only plays Dargo, basically.
Oh, really?
And he top forward last month on Dargo Kodama, which was so sick.
Oh, what?
I thought nobody else played that deck. It was just me like forever.
That's
I was watching the game. He cast a Bergie and he's like, Kodama trigger, here's a Dosen, you guys explode. And then they just like super died. It was awesome.
Gruul's pretty good when you can 2-for-1 your spells. It's like, it's kind of sick.
For sure.
What it is it like Kodama is like this deck that like, or it's like this card that people are like, oh yeah, this is insanely powerful. But it never sees play, so people don't respect it. And then you like get cooked by it once and you're like, I'm never letting that card hit the battlefield again. As you shouldn't, right?
Yeah.
And then you don't see it for another 6 months and you forget how bad you got cooked by it.
It's so weird because the card is so obscenely busted. It breaks so many of the rules of Magic.
Yeah.
But it's 6 mana. And it's like, it's a mono green partner. You're like, okay, well, this is like objectively bad because if I want to do band, I have to partner with Ishai. And you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
If I want to do Teamer, I have to partner with fucking Crom. And you're like, ugh, that's not good.
Here's the thing, dude. Like, Eric was cooking on Rog Ishai last year.
Or Kodama Ishai. I know, but that started because I was playing Kodama and I was like, Eric, you don't understand how fucking broken this card is. It's so broken. For those of you that don't know, it just Kodama of the East tree.
Yeah, I think your deck is literally called 13 mana in the command zone for some reason.
Yeah, the Dargo Kodama one is degenerate and insane, but I mean, just the commander itself is a 6/6 for 6. It's like, okay, this is the most casual ass card I've ever seen. But it says whenever another permanent ETB is under your control, if it wasn't put onto the battlefield with this ability, you may put a permanent card with equal or lesser converted mana cost from your hand onto the battlefield. And what that really means is, at its base level, if you put any land onto the battlefield with Kodama, you get to put a second land. And it's not playing the land. It just enters. It's just a trigger. But like, you could put a heuristic study onto the battlefield. If they don't respond, then you put in with a Kodama trigger, you put in like a Ranger Captain or a heuristic clone or who knows what, any permanent. And it has lots of stupid combos. Like if you make a token and you have a bounce land, like if you have a landfall thing that makes a token and you have a bounce land, you make infinite of those tokens because you bounce it with itself and then you put it back in with the Kodama trigger with the token entering.
Oh, that's so stupid.
Yeah. So like I was playing Kodama Thrasios and like that deck went infinite with a ham sandwich because you could just go infinite with lands and they're like, what? It's like,
oh, that's gross, but like really good.
Yeah, it's cool. Kodama is a really cool card.
Yeah. But it's definitely like my style of thing. I love this card. I love Cascade. I love that kind of big, stupid, broken stuff. But it's always kind of like on the edge of what's possible in our format.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. We talked about the boil. Let's move on to, the atrium.
Yeah, I think for people who are like, one, there's 2 Bridgets in here for some reason.
Oh boy.
But for anyone who is like Raw Gishai's flavor of the week, we now have 2 like 100+ events in a month that this deck won. And yes, it's Jason's act, but like the deck is broken. It's unbelievably broken, and it just takes the right person playing it.
If you combine the boil plus the atrium, 3 of the decks made top cut. Like that's crazy. That's so good.
Yeah. Anyone calling Rog Ishai a fake deck is probably severely incorrect.
Agreed.
I think that there is like this kind of like judgment assigned with Rhystic Slop or like Control Slop that because I think everyone has seen this deck mold a 3 and explode and do nothing.
Sure.
But in the right hands, it's like it's super, super gross. Also, there's a Trog in 3rd place. I just noticed.
Dude, it makes me so happy Garrett top 4'd this event. So Garrett is one of the original designers of Trog.
There's so many planeswalkers, bro.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's because when you obliterate, they all stay there.
I love obliterate so much.
I love it.
Oh yeah, dude, this deck is heinous.
Rog Jessica's will obliterate pass.
Yeah. No, dude, I've played this deck and I had a turn 1 God Pharaoh statue.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it's designed
and it does it kind of often.
Divergent transformation into Sire Valgaboth, which is essentially a win con. You don't need to run any other creatures.
No, that's basically your only win con, other than stealing everyone's commander with Tevish.
And beating them to death with their own commander.
Yes.
I played this deck
I love it.
a lot.
I absolutely adore this deck.
I played a mid-range version of this deck back when, like, before the bans, and it was on the heavy stacks and stuff. It was just fast mid-range. And, like, it had dockside loops and stuff like that. It felt really good. Like, I really like this deck a lot. This deck holds, like, a special place in my heart because I like, started my cEDH career playing this deck.
I also think that, like, you'd be surprised on how many times that, like, a turn 1, like, Thorn of the Amethyst or Sphere of Resistance
it hoses people.
Just absolutely obliterates someone. Sphere of Resistance just makes all spells cost 1 extra.
Yeah. And Chalice of the Void even.
Yep.
You just get to run
I think Chalice is, like, generally probably underplayed in our format.
Agreed.
I think
like Chalice on 1 is insane.
Like our local Arkham Daxon player Tyler's testing out Urza, and I played a bunch of games with him at locals, and he's on Chalice. Like I think that's pretty cool.
Seems strong.
If you can get Chalice on like 0 on the first turn of the game, like if you're first seat, people explode.
Chalice on 1 is pretty backbreaking too.
Yeah.
No Rite of Flame, no Imp Seal, no Vamp. Like, God. You can't flood Maw.
And it like turns off so much of Raw Gishai's interaction, right? Like Rog Ishai, like all these like decks that are playing turbo-ristic stuff, like a lot of their interaction now is 1 mana interaction, right? And so
Dude,
like
you
turning
can
all that off is crazy.
with a mana vault, you can Vexing Bauble and Chalice of the Void on one.
Yep.
Ew.
Yep.
Oh, bro.
Yep. I mean,
Yep.
Sunglasses played it in like our little tournament that we had,
Yeah.
and he had Chalice on 0, or he had Chalice on 1 Vexing Bauble, and it was just like, oh, no one can do anything.
Yep. Yeah, you just die.
Yeah.
It's really cool. I love this deck. Like, I really do love this deck.
Yeah, I like it too. It's very cool. But yeah, I mean, the Atrium, I heard really good things about this event. I know that Bite Size streamed it, and there's a lot of interesting decks in the top 16 here.
Shouts to Sylvie on to Dargo again in second.
Mm-hmm.
Deck's good.
Also, I know what if you scroll down again, there was.
sorry.
I know that Carlos was like one of the main people still playing Winota, like with some degree of regularity,
Mhm.
and still like doing super well with the deck, which is interesting.
There's a lot of like white, black, red in this meta.
Yep.
Agreed.
That's really interesting. Like Narset too.
Yeah.
It's kind of nuts. But yeah, I mean,
this whole like top 16 looks very turbo pilled. Like very, very turbo pilled.
really? Because I see a lot of stacks. Like I know that Brigade's on some stacks, and same with Winota and Rog Tevesh.
Yeah, but Brigade is still a turbo deck, from what I understand. I haven't played against it, but from what I understand, it is a turbo deck.
I think all
and
the
then
good, all the
Bandristic
good
Study is Sunglasses playing Chowder.
I think all the good stacks decks have some element of turbo to them, or they just like have to go fast enough to like over or just like play around their own stacks in order to not lose to someone removing the stacks. So very cool. Now we have to talk about this, which I was not expecting.
It's so good.
The EDH top 16 power rankings. I was so excited to be number 7. Oh wait, it's ranked by draw rate. If you want coaching on how to draw your games in cEDH, go to pregame.gg and you can find my profile there.
Dude.
Jason is also ranked 69th on this list, which he found greatly amusing.
I think this is just really funny. April Fool's Day. Yeah. This is just like a perfect April Fool's joke.
It's like the definitive ranking of EDH players.
Also did have to get filtered for what seemed like bot accounts because there was an Urza with a 91% draw rate.
The record was 3-0 and 33.
No. It was 0, 3, and 33.
Was it really?
Yeah. They had 0 wins.
Wow. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. Shouts to Ryan for putting this together. I found it very funny.
Yes. It was amazing.
He did also specifically modify the algorithm to make sure that Pigeon was on it, which I thought was very funny.
Wait,
what?
The original version of the algorithm only let you be on it if you had won a 60-person or greater event.
Oh.
You had to have 30 games and won a 60-person event. And he modified it to be top 4 at 200 so that Pigeon would also be present, which I found very funny.
Very funny.
The Deuce got on there. It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Yeah, the most interesting thing about this was like this got posted on Twitter, and then immediately there's like the 60 card grinders are like, this is what's wrong with cEDH. It's like,
of course.
Thanks. Really appreciate the input. Like, thank you for the thoughtful insight into this April Fool's joke.
April Fools. If you get got on April Fools on the internet, like that's on you, buddy.
I don't even think they were like getting got. Like I mean, this is all true is the thing. It's a joke for us because it's funny, but like, there's nothing wrong here. Like there's nothing incorrect. This is true.
No, it's but it's just funny.
Yeah, but I'm like, okay, I'm really good at not losing in cEDH. Like, what do you want from me? Like, I don't understand how this is bad.
Yeah.
Explain to me.
It is very funny. Who else was, I mean, basically like a significant portion of the quote unquote notable players is present on this list.
You know what else I really thought
like
funny?
Jordan Drake's here, like Max P. Go ahead.
If you scroll down on like the actual like web page, you can keep digging into it and it'll go into like the decks that have the highest draw rate What are your guys' guesses on what the deck that has the highest draw rate has?
Wait, where is it? Like, how do you get to it?
Rankings.
I was
at
able
the
to do
top.
it on my mobile phone.
Oh, okay. Rankings. Okay, so you scroll down, and then it's just like listing instead of the cards. Once it's
Yeah,
wait, can we have a tournament with these top 16?
that's hilarious.
Called the Envy, bro.
Oh yeah, right.
It is.
We
called
already
the
have
Envy.
that. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I was able to take this webpage and like swipe to the right, and I was able to find what the deck was that had the most draw rate.
Oh, interesting.
Huh.
But it doesn't seem like you're able to do this here.
You're sure it's not like on this page?
But it's just
I was gonna say it's definitely TNT or Canon.
It's just TNT.
That's what I like.
that seems
That's
right.
what I like to hear, dude.
It was so funny. I like saw it and I was like, oh, that is just, yeah, they do everything they can to just not win the game.
Yeah. There is no feeling quite like having 30 cards in your hand and 50 mana on board and being unable to win the game.
Yeah,
And not because you don't want to, it is just not possible.
that's crazy. I mean, but it happened to me too. And like Jason, that was like my turn one ring deck or one ring hand. And then Jason's like, this is why your deck's dog shit. And I was like, yep. That's why I'm not playing this deck anymore.
Can't convert a turn 1 ring after like 6 turns. Like,
It was like with Manamo plus a Seedborn Muse or something like that
Oh
too.
my
Like I
God.
literally
Oh
had
my
50
God.
cards in hand. And I was like, Jason, can you show me how I'm not winning this game? And he's like, no, dude, that's just crazy. Like what? Like
that. Okay, wait. That happened to be a little bit on Shorkai this weekend. I had One Ring and Clock and Shorkai, and I was like, I'll get there eventually. Just give me a minute. Like, it's like, hold on. And then someone made a comment like, "Oh, he's having performance issues." I was like, "No, I have cards. I have protected win. When I get to my Displacer Kitten, don't worry about it. It's fine."
that's hilarious.
And then like I untapped and resolved it to Fairy. I won, but like, but that's Azorius. Like, if you're in black, you should be able to win. Like,
The first game I played on farm again after playing TNT for a while, I was like, oh my God, Breach makes everything so much easier. This is so dumb.
I'm so glad you
Yeah.
played farm.
Oh, dude, yeah. It was the right choice.
Yeah.
Especially
Dude,
for
he
that
played
weekend.
the copiest version of Cope Farmer I've ever seen in my life, though.
It's pretty gross. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Did your version of farm have this forcible in it?
No, but I'm ready to spend $1,000, so it does.
Yeah.
Even in the Scryfall scan, it looks insane.
Yeah.
This is the
Yeah.
silver light foil? Silver scroll foil, excuse me?
Silver
Yeah, I
scroll
think
foil.
Yeah.
Silver scroll foil.
So like the silver bordering around like the name of the card and the mana symbols and the text box are all like raised foil like it was for Bloomborough.
Yeah, even there and here. I'm sure this will not be tournament legal somewhere for some reason.
Oh, right.
But then I found this video of it, and I was like, "Oh wow, this looks even more insane in
Yeah,
not
it's
even
crazy.
in person, like just in a video."
It
crazy. Legitimately looks like the prettiest Magic card I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
It's nuts. I am already planning selling my Judge Force of Will to pay for part of it.
I like that they brought back this artist from the previous one. So it looks like they did 3 cards before, and now they're doing 1, which like these 3 cards are whatever, but obviously getting an upgrade to do Force of Will is really cool.
They
yeah.
So
I mean,
all
this
of
is
the
insane.
Japanese Mystical Archives printings are Japanese artists, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's like the way that they should be doing things.
Yeah.
And then here's the Vamp Tutor. This thing's
insane, bro.
Even the it's the same person that did the demonic.
Oh, I didn't realize that, but that makes sense.
Oh my god. Yeah. So even this printing, the non Silver Scroll foil is just so cool. And obviously,
what's going to be really annoying about this is the APs for this are only going to be available in lottery from like the Tokyo Magic stores.
No, dude.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're like basically impossible to get.
Also, what's going to be really annoying is if you have the Silver Scroll of the Vamp, you're not going to be able to get a Silver Scroll of the Demonic.
Correct. Yep.
That would drive me up the wall.
Yeah. My TISM is triggered.
Speaking of being triggered, Jason was talking about this card, Ominous Harvest. It's 2 and a black. It says sorcery has Gravestorm. Target player draws 1 card, loses 1 life. Gravestorm means when you cast a spell, copy it for each permanent you put into a graveyard from the battlefield this turn.
So not just you, it's any permanent.
Anyone.
If I actually like Jason's
What?
rage
It said,
baiting on the
wait,
internet,
anyone? Not just you?
Yeah,
any
correct.
permanent.
Oh my god.
Bro, you
I
slam
will
a
say-
Culling Writ on this
Yeah.
and then draw 50 cards. It's disgusting.
Well, you would die.
Sure. Yeah. That is, well,
That's not relevant.
Each-
okay, you get to
each
draw your
copy
library.
each copy of the Storm can target a different player because it's target
True.
player draw the card.
True.
This is
I
very
actually-
interesting.
I think this card's kind of like busted. I don't know if it's good, but it reads as really strong.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in like the Dargo strategy or like the Lotho like hoarding Broodlord thing, like
Yeah.
I could see it being played or used. I just don't think it's for me, right?
Sure.
But Gravestorm as a mechanic is crazy.
Hopefully we see other Gravestorm cards.
Yeah, there's only 3 in like all of Magic.
Yeah,
Now I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Gravestorm. Oh, there's a card called Gravestorm.
I
Oh,
did not
I
know
didn't know
that.
that.
It's from Odyssey.
I was talking to Corey about this card, and his first reaction was like, "Oh, this makes the Fallout Secret Lair commander playable, the mono black ghoul guy."
Yeah, wow.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, because it just like Gravecaller loops, draws your deck or whatever.
God, how do I even find that?
Who knows? I don't even know what he's called.
All right, forget it.
Yeah,
The art's not bad. I wonder if there's gonna be like a secondary printing of the card, but probably not because it's from the commander set. But it
Yeah.
seems
Oh,
like
that means you can't find a foil of this? Ugh.
you might be able to if it's available in collector boosters.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
it does appear as if non-foil and foil.
Yeah.
But this to me kind of fits that weird like Jessica's Will slot where it's 2 in a color for
Yeah.
a powerful draw / mana effect. Obviously this doesn't give you the mana, but I could see like Rowan maybe playing this.
Oh, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, because it's just 1 black probably.
Yeah, 1 black, lose a bunch of life.
Mm. Okay.
I don't know.
Interesting.
I think this is going to enable strategies from other non-meta decks to do some more powerful things.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, there's a world that Farm plays this, but like probably not, right? Like,
The fact that treasures also work because those do hit the graveyard before they cease to exist.
Yeah.
So if you like crack 7 treasures, cast Gravestorm, draw 8 cards, float
Mhm.
4 mana, it's like kind of interesting.
it's definitely not that bad, and Farm probably wins a game off of that. But like
Yep.
you were mentioning, Dargo being pretty solid with this.
So Pontus tested it today. He goldfished a bunch of hands with this card, and he was like, "It is very good, but most of the time when it's relevant, you're like already winning with Dargo."
Yeah.
But there are potential upsides. And there's like sometimes you just have Altar of Dementia, but you don't have a way to get to Deadpool, I guess, and you can make everyone draw out with this card. So like there are use cases for it, but I don't know how like good it actually is.
It's weird. This card has like a positive interaction with Ska, but also like
Yes.
in some way it doesn't interact as well. Like the treasures you make from Ska from copying it obviously do nothing for the card,
Yeah.
but just copying a bunch of stuff makes a bunch of treasures, which is nice.
I guess there's like a world where no, I mean it kind of works. If you had hypothetically, if you had a Ska and Breach and you wanted to win in a way that's as inefficient as possible and Flash, you could continually cast this card in response to your Ska triggers and continue generating more and more Gravestorm triggers, I guess.
But like that seems like something you
Yeah.
could do in Rakdos, right? Like where
sure.
like it enables Rakdos to do really cool stuff. Whereas
Yep.
if you're playing Ska and like Farm or Rogsai, it's kind of whatever. It doesn't
Yeah.
really matter that much.
Yeah.
But I like the design space of trying to make powerful things that enable other strategies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed. And the art's kind of sick.
The art is pretty sick for kind of like a, like that's the only printing we're gonna get probably. But also Jason's kind of trolling about this card.
It's so
It
good.
is very.
It has 50,000 views.
That's really.
Oh, comedian. That's excellent.
That's very funny.
Yeah. But I think like when it comes down to it, we're pretty excited about this set. And it seems like
Yeah.
the set's going to be offering a lot of cool stuff, if not, just powerful stuff, which is nice.
I think just like Opus as a mechanic, like, is strong in our format, right? Like, we need to just find an effect for it that is like interesting.
Yeah, I agree. We also are getting a reprint of Fairy Mastermind, which is very exciting.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
But it's
Dude,
like,
I don't understand how like they took someone's real face that people were like considering goofy and then also just put another goofy face on a Fairy Mastermind.
It is still just kind of slaw.
Yeah.
Yes.
it's not showing on Scryfall yet. Anyway, yeah, that was the Harmonic Prodigy. I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is like,
Yeah.
it seems like portions of the set will hit and
Yep.
other parts, like, this is just bad.
Yeah, I'm not super into it. I think I actually like kind of like it better than the original one.
No way, bro.
Yeah.
I also don't like the art for either one of these cards.
Yeah.
She has like a loot thing, like I forget what this is called. Someone correct
And
me.
monster instrument.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I think we had some questions from like Patreon members to finish up with, and I think we'll just kind of cap it off there. Jordan, you want to take the helm on that
Yeah,
one?
I can pull them up. All right. We actually had a lot, so I don't know if we're going to get to all of them. From our local Squatches Pop Jake, what are y'all doing to prep for Siege? Anything outside of the ordinary grind as much as possible?
Playing League, test new strategies. I don't know, learn new stuff, get coaching. I don't know what else.
Yeah, I mean that's basically it for me. Just play as many locals as I can do that, and I'm really gonna delve deep into the list that I'm playing. It feels so good, and yeah, just play more of that.
I think something I'm trying to do is like give myself like a lot of permission to not play farm at like locals or in the league or whatever, and just like take breaks from what I want to grind tournaments on.
Yeah.
If that makes, because I think there's like a lot of utility in getting a lot of reps in the deck that you want to grind on, and there's also a point where that has diminishing returns too.
Unless you're
just like
Jason.
unless you're Jason, because yeah, he's just crazy. But just being like okay with the fact that if I want to play slot for a few weeks, like it doesn't really matter, and then I can lock in when it's time to actually take it seriously again.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think the defining factor of that strategy is probably you need to lock in like 3 weeks before. Not like the week of. You probably need to be like, okay, now I need to start like playing seriously. So yeah.
Agreed. Next. You are tasked from Fatsuna. You are tasked with creating a cEDH Gauntlet starter kit for playgroups to use. 8 decks to be shuffled around and enjoyed. What 8 decks do you choose?
8?
8 is a lot. Yeah.
8 is a lot. But I think that like for me it's like Cannon Farm have to be in there. Like I personally think that Malcolm Vile should also be in there as like the turbo deck.
Nah. I think you put the traditional like Rogsai probably. You do like Malcolm
I just like
Tana.
as a starter, I don't think people should play Rogsai.
But if it's like a battle box that you want to like be able to grow into, maybe that's like reading into the question too much.
Yeah, I could see that.
We could also
I just,
easily
like-
switch the deck over with like a couple cards to be the other deck, right?
Yeah. I just think that like a deck like Rogsai, you like can't give a new player because they're like not going to be used to just being like, okay, you're okay like mulling to Oblivion.
Yeah. No.
Like, and if you like hand someone Malcolm Vile and you're like, all right, hey, your plan is to find a Glenhorn Buccaneer.
But
like,
isn't
make
that
people stop you do that?
Isn't that what Malcolm Tana is?
Yeah.
Sure. I think that that's like maybe another option, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I do think that like a creature combo deck or like a Rogthras style of deck is also kind of interesting in this box.
Yeah.
Maybe like Ral, maybe something like light Thrasios, probably not like Rog Thras, maybe like Yoshi Thras or something
Yeah.
that kind of explores the archetype a little bit, and then probably a 5-color good stuff deck.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
do think that like you should also have one of the like activation base decks in there,
Hmm.
whether that be like Sisay, like Trad Sisay, Magda, or
Oh, you mean
Arkham,
like
something
Tutor
like that.
Chain style?
Yeah, exactly.
Probably Sisay.
Yeah.
Even though it's like the most
Probably a
colors, it's
Sisay.
probably Sisay. And then
It is
also-
like the easiest one to like. I guess not the easiest. Magda's probably the easiest one to like. This is your script. Stick to it.
Yeah.
and then last
Uh,
suggestion, probably
I-
Tivit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like Tivit in there.
Yeah.
I'm not putting Atali in there because I don't think that deck teaches anybody anything.
Nope.
At least not that like is valuable to grow as a player. And that's not to say you can't be a good Atali pilot. I just don't think that's like a good fundamentals deck.
The deck is also
Mhm.
just like not performing that well right now.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, with the rise of Rog Ishai, like Atali actually just falls apart. Like it
Yeah.
literally can't hit a thing from their deck other than Breach.
Yeah, you're gonna hit like a counterspell. It's like okay,
Yeah.
sure.
I mean, I
Counterspell or,
saw
like,
I saw it this
Tutor.
weekend. Like we
Yeah.
saw a turn 2 Dino, and it literally hit its own Pyroblast and 3 counterspells, and we're like, sit there.
Yeah,
I am not giving someone a Dargo deck either. If it's like a battle box, learn how to
Agreed.
play. It's just probably not going to be that great of a time.
Agreed.
Do you think like Dargo Timna's like it? I don't think it's that bad.
I think that Dargo math is hard. I think Dargo Timna is one of the easier ones to like feel like you're doing something because it's like worst case. Okay, I can cast Timna and draw cards or whatever.
What about
But
like
I think this-
Obnix in that spot?
I like Obnix better in that spot because it like
Yeah.
has interesting play patterns and is still a commander centric strategy.
Yeah.
But you don't have to worry about Dargo math.
Cool.
Trying to
I
if
also
there's
think
anything
that,
else.
dude, this is gonna sound weird. I think Yuriko should be in this box
Probably.
because
Yeah, I
it's
don't
like
hate-
it is like it's a good like pipeline of like commander to CEDH.
It just
Like,
plays
oh
like
hey, like my plan is to do the Yuriko thing, and then like I have blue black like control. Like I think that's fine.
Yeah.
I think you'd basically have to like remove the bad cards from Yuriko. It had to be like a tempo Yuriko, not like a
Yeah.
big flips Yuriko.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
Which
Because if
is,
you flip
by
like
the
a
way,
Shadow
how
of
that deck should
Mortality
be
or something,
designed.
everyone's gonna be like, "What does that card do?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you just
Yeah.
die." I don't know. It's just
Just give him Gitrog.
last suggestion. I'm gonna make. You guys can make more if you want, but Drevi.
Oh, Drevi's a good one. Yeah.
Drevi is a
like
good
that.
one, but I do think that like in this battle box, if you're like adding some of these things, like you kind of have to do, like Drevi has some weird combos in it, some like very weird combos in it.
Yeah. But it's
I mean, you just like give people a little like token primer, right? Or something
Yeah.
that like teaches them what they're looking for. You could probably give someone Winota, realistically.
I think you have to be careful with like changing the whole texture of the game with some of these commanders.
Sure.
Because if
Sure.
you pull out Winota and then 3 of these other decks, and if people generally, let's say they're just playing kitchen table cEDH, they might not know how to stop Winota, and then Winota runs away with every game because it's just like the most casual style deck. Where
Yeah.
it's like it's very, very familiar, and it's like, oh, well, then the party's gonna turn into I have 7 decks plus Winota. Like, let's not play Winota.
Yeah.
And you just
Yeah.
kind of might be careful about that kind
That
of
makes
stuff.
sense.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see. Oh, this question is interesting. From Aaron S. Any thoughts on Ristic making blue a stronger color being an overall positive for the format, as by increasing blue's meta share, it encourages decks to consider high quality interaction more seriously? I mean, I generally am of the opinion that Ristic is positive for the format, regardless of this stance, but you're even starting to see it now with like the breadth of interaction people are considering is viable. I think is interesting.
Firestorm's viable.
Yeah. I mean, like even like misdirection, right? Or like commandeer is on the upswing, dispel, like some of these cards that people weren't running previously.
Yeah.
We're starting to consider.
I will say, like, if you're talking about just like having blue as a strong color, which makes like a format healthy, in general, in like 60 card formats, like that is in general a good idea. Like if you look at Legacy and Vintage and Modern, like blue is inherently strong in all of these like eternal formats, and like usually it keeps a format honest. And if you don't have blue as one of the stronger colors, then like your format becomes super degenerate and like bursty and a lot more variable.
Because every
So-
spell resolves inherently.
Exactly. So like you kind of want, as a design space or like as a design like a thought, you kind of want your permission based color to be pretty strong. Now that might be like, we might be teetering on the edge of like, oh, maybe it's a little too strong. Like they have too many pieces of interaction that they can use, but in general, you do want your permission color to be strong.
I think that's true, and really the solution from a game design standpoint is not to ban cards from blue. It's to print powerful cards in other colors.
Yeah.
So that, like, if you're playing a red black deck, like we were talking about Rog Tavesh earlier, it doesn't have to play bad cards because they're like they go deep enough where like the 30th red card they play is still decent.
Yeah.
And if they have to play like bad cards just to fill out their archetype of their deck, like that's not what we want. But I think you're on the right track there with like blue being strong and it being sort of the balancing part of the format. Because otherwise, like if you just like, oh, I can cast whatever I want, and then it's like sorcery suite solitaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and formats become like super solved, right?
Yeah.
And like blue makes that not necessarily be the case, even though like sometimes blue is the thing that solves the format, but like most of the like it's hard to explain because blue gives you like counterplay, right? And
Yeah.
that inherently makes things more interesting. And like if you're playing like vintage or legacy and you have to like force check or force bait, it's really interesting as like a mechanic and a game design thing. So
Yeah, I think generally, like, we played a bunch of LobbyCon games this weekend that were like Sans Blue slop pods.
yeah, they're miserable.
Oh, it was awful, bro.
Yeah.
It was like such a bad time.
I literally was just like, why are we playing this game? Like,
What's the point? Like, what are we learning? What are we having
Yeah.
fun? Not really.
yeah. I like kept asking for Josh's Timna Dargo because I was like, someone needs to be responsible.
Yeah, that deck is very interesting.
Yeah, I think there's something there.
And it's also kind of the nature of having a multiplayer format too, because you at some point have to have answers for the answers have to come from somewhere. You have 4 Atali decks at the table. Everyone's like, okay, well, who's resolving Atali first? Like,
Which, like,
Yep.
by the way, there was like multiple of these like LobbyCon decks or LobbyCon games. It was like Helga, Atali, Ral, something, or Timna Dargo, and it's like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were a couple of games where like my Timna Dargo list was the most responsible deck at the table. And I was
Yeah.
like, what are we doing, bro?
Yeah. It's like these are not worth playing. But then, dude, I pulled out Rogdrass for a few of these games, and I was like, wait, I can actually 1v3 three turbo decks with my deck? Like, that's kind of gas.
I had the like sickest way to get to a turn 2 Nas I've probably ever seen. And then Austin was just like, yeah, but I top decked this fierce. So
that's cool that you
no.
went through all those steps anyway. Here's a
Yeah.
fierce-
Anyway, no.
Yeah.
It's like you guys were on channel.
Oh, Far North.
Yes.
Far North.
Sorry, guys. You were on Far North, and you're like, anyway, thanks for having us on. Here's a Mind Break trap.
Here's an MVP. Yeah. Also, never before has a Candelabra worked so hard to produce not green mana as
Yeah.
it did in that game.
Yeah.
It was very funny.
The
Mhm.
the last thing I thought about this, and I was like, okay, I'll talk about this in a second. But we have sayings, so we even say these things out loud, and I don't know that we all realize that we say them. But if somebody's casting Blood Moon on turn 1 or something like that, you're like, force a will check, because you're
Yeah.
Yeah.
literally force a will checking
Mhm.
the table, and if they don't have it, then you're like, okay, well, now it's my game. And I think these are very real things that we need to like consider. And Ristic is part of it for sure, but I think it's a little bit out of hand sometimes with the clones and whatnot. And like to me, that's more the issue than the card itself.
Yeah, I think there was like some really interesting ideas of like making Ristic legendary. I think that's like kind of fine, but
I don't like the idea of eroding cards. Like
I
physical
agree.
cards.
I think you'd have to like ban Ristic and then make it like Ristic Library, and it's a legendary card that they produce,
or something like that, right? But like just the thought experiment of, okay, well, is it Risic the problem, or is it the fact that you can have 3 or 4 the problem?
Yep.
And to me, it's
I mean, my opinion
air
is
quotes
it's
problem.
still even.
Like it's not even really a problem.
Yeah. There it is. So the quotes problem. Like we
Yeah.
talked about it a lot last week. That I really do think it's a player problem, not a heuristic problem. But
yeah,
it's fine.
I agree with that. I mean, it got to that like in my stream game when they made me play out double tithe mastermind when I'm resolving all of my triggers before anyone can resolve anything else. It's like, okay, dude, we don't necessarily need to actually do this.
that sounds like a
in
judge
reality.
problem, not a player problem.
Sort of, but what it ultimately boiled down to is like, hey guys, we're coming up close on time. I'm going to execute this as fast as humanly possible.
Mm.
You need to stop me if there's something that you would like to do over the course of this and just like speed run everything. And to Austin's point, I think part of the player problem is just like every single draw to is new information. Let's talk about it. And that's really not, it doesn't need to be like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because like once you realize you're in that like Ristic slop game, that you're like, oh, most of these spells in my hand actually don't matter. I just need to throw something on the stack, and it's like, no, like let's play this stack, like let's go, because none of it's resolving. Who cares? Like let's do it.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that matters is the very end of the stack, right?
Yeah, for me, I see this happen with players, especially new ones, and sometimes in franchise ones, where if they're presented with a obstacle, if the obstacles are a 6 fine. If the obstacle is a stacks piece, fine. But like they're presented with an obstacle and you can see their brain just shut down. And like my biggest advice for players that want to be more efficient at the game, be better at the game, when just like be prepared for these obstacles. So when they come out, you're still making plays in a timely manner. The game can go on because the faster the game goes on, the quicker the stacks piece of the obstacle gets removed. And sometimes that doesn't happen because it's a heuristic slop game, but it's fine. But you still need to go through the motions and play the game. If you are now slowing down, it's like I keep saying, like when I'm casting a spell into a heuristic, I'm like, I'm not paying for heuristic. Draw. I'm not paying for heuristic. Draw. Just resolve your triggers. I don't care. And then there were times where there were multiple triggers, and I was like, okay, wait, you guys have fairy masterminds, and he has a study. So you guys are going to draw from his second draw. I'm not responding to any of those triggers. I don't think you guys are. Can we just exhaust the mastermind? And then everyone does. And it's like, okay, now instead of worrying about what order it goes in, it's just done because we all accept the shortcut. So like it's just sometimes things matter and you have to identify when they matter. And if they don't, then like move on with your life and play the game. Like it's really not that big a deal.
I agree. We already answered what we're playing for Fringefest. An extension of that question from Chris S. When you're considering decks for things like the Fringefest, what are you building for? Strong commander synergy that's not quite good enough for normal play? Something off the wall that you think might work? Strong 3-color piles that do the thing? How are you thinking about that?
I think it really just depends on how you're actually like attacking Fringefest, right? Like if you're attacking a tournament of like, oh, I want to win this, then like the answer is just like put whatever colors into the command zone and then build a good shell, right? Or use the good shell. But if you want to like use this as like a tournament for fun and to explore, right? Then like you can explore some interesting commander synergies.
I think 3-color good stuff is going to be fine, but you run the risk of your commander not doing anything and you're losing the advantage of having a guaranteed card and strategy in the command zone. So it's kind of that fine balance of I don't want to play bad cards, but also like my deck needs to do something at some point. And that's kind of the challenge with the format. And I like that part a lot. I don't know. I just think that like 3 colors can be obviously viable. There's going to be plenty of options out there. Like if you want to play Jeskai, you can play one of the Nar sets, or you can play Kaikar, or you can play whatever. But also, there's probably a little bit more refined strategies in 2-color that wouldn't see play in cEDH otherwise. So you might have like a more commander-centric strategy there. But I don't know. It's hard, but it's fun. Like that's kind of the challenge.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think for me, I'm taking it as like there's cards that I really love playing with that just aren't powerful enough usually. And I just want to see like how close are they actually? And go from there.
I love these brewing challenges because a lot of times when I'm building a deck, I'm like looking at Moxfield and I'm like, oh, I've already done that in this deck. And like, obviously that's the correct thing to do because these are all the good cards and stuff. But I find myself when I'm brewing for Fringefest or for the Commander, everything has partner thing. I mean, I'm running into walls over and over again because I'm like, oh, this isn't, I can't do that because of this restriction. Or actually, maybe this door is open because I can partner this with this. And then now there's this like new strategy I've never seen before. Or the strategy wasn't viable because of blank. Like Kin and Lotho, at least in that, is like, that's really cool because you now have guaranteed treasures, you have cheap commanders. I don't know, stuff like that's cool, and getting to explore that is a neat opportunity.
By the way, like I think that the partner event, like commander stuff, like I think the strongest stuff that you can do in that event is not jamming two things that are good and putting them together expecting them to be the best. There is just obscure strategies that are allowed by the opening up of partner that people are just not going to be ready for. And like please explore because they are so fun. Like they are so cool.
Yeah, I am extremely excited for that event. I think some really like I'm going to die in entirely unexpected ways, and that's very exciting.
And if you're not able to attend the event, which most people aren't because it's like a local thing for us, just brew decks. Just like read the rules, go into Moxfield, and start putting stuff together. Like I put together Ragavan Shorekai, and I was like, this seems cool because 2 pilots and a Ragavan can crew Shorekai because that matters for some reason. It definitely does not, but I was like, oh, Shorekai is like kind of a weird breach engine because it discards stuff, right? And then I don't know, like Ragavan makes treasures, and that's pretty solid. And like the deck needs mana, and I don't know, but like just brew decks because like you can.
Like my first brew was Krark Kinnan, and I was like, this is busted. Like it just wins on strike it rich. Like you're just like, yeah, cool, I just win the game. Or big score, or emerald charm, or like there's just these infinitely amount of like spells that you're just like, yeah, the deck just wins all the time. And I think that's like super, super cool, right? But yeah, I mean, like just brew because there's some really cool stuff. In reality, after brewing it, I was like, man, I just wish this was the format.
It's gonna be so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that Jason has like 680 decks in Moxfield or something like heinous like that.
And probably 100 of them are everything has partner.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But we've talked before about like when people were asking about how do you brew for Fringe. I actually think there's a lot of utility in like playing meta strategies so you understand what your Fringe needs to like compensate for or play into. But the opposite is also true. Like by leveraging Fringe strategies, you start to understand what makes meta strategies powerful and like if there's anything you can adapt to that, I think. And so just push yourself to try new ideas and try new concepts and see what happens. Brian asked, what hair products do you use and what is your routine? It turns out he was not asking Austin that question, as we came to find later in the Patreon. Hims, use it. It's good, but don't get mail order GLP-1 because that's bad for you.
Have you used the California born hair stuff?
No, I've never even heard of it.
Oh, it's great. My hair looks awful right now because I'm wearing headphones, but it's very, very natural feeling. Like you shower, right? And then you go about your day and then you go to sleep, you wake up, and you're like, dang, my hair looks good. It's like that.
There it is.
The first day. But like the first day, not the second day.
Now, in before next week on Tabs, we're brought to you by California Natural Hair.
Wait, I'll find it. You keep asking other questions.
I can't tell if this was an April Fool's question. I'm really sorry if it's not, and you meant this seriously. Got any recommendations for easing pain caused by internal damage from IED shrapnel? And the only answer I could come to mind was build an arc reactor, because that's what Iron Man did. But I don't think that's, I don't know if you're asking that question seriously. If you were, DM me and we can talk about like health stuff, I guess.
Well, no. Thank you for your service, first of all.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, not to change the subject, but this is what I'm talking about. It's expensive. It's expensive, Days of Dirt, but
I've seen this stuff. I've never tried
this one tube has lasted me like 6 months, and it's excellent. It's really, really good.
I'll try it. Yeah, Logan also probably has the best hair, and not even probably, definitively has the best hair of critical
It's
EDH.
just very gray, like very gray.
Dude, I wish mine was gray instead of not there.
Austin, just shave your head, dude.
I
It's
know.
just be
That's
done with
really
it.
what
I'll
it
do it
is.
for you.
No, so what happened was, dude, I was planning on doing it, and I've planned on doing it for a while now, realistically.
Okay.
But I'm going to a wedding like next week, and I was like, I don't know if I like the bald look, so I can't do that yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you get back, let me know.
Well, I have another wedding to go to a month from then, so yeah,
It'll
it's
grow out in a
problematic.
month.
It's wedding season, dude. It's rough.
True. It's also big tournament season, which is very cool.
Yes, it is both.
It is.
I preemptively shaved my head in my like mid-20s so I could come to terms with what would happen if I actually ever did go bald, and it wasn't that bad. I'm glad I did that.
I shaved my head a lot
Nice.
during COVID. Instead
Yeah.
of letting my hair grow out during COVID, I shaved my head a ton because I was like, I just don't want to mess with it. And
Yeah.
it was all right. I'm in
Let's
my
see.
rebellious teenage years now. My hair is long.
What is everyone's favorite movie or top 3 movies of all time?
You guys can answer first.
I actually don't know what my top 3 are. I'll have to think about that for a second. Austin, if you have any on
I
lock.
think so. I have like weird opinions on movies because I don't think you can like just name your top 3 movies most of the time because there's like genre, right? Like,
Sure.
but I'll just like list off a few that I enjoy.
Okay.
That like, I think my favorite comedy of all time is Zoolander. I fucking love that movie. I actually think that movie is the funniest movie I've ever seen in my life. A favorite, like, do I think that this is like the one of the best movies ever made? There's a German movie called The Lives of Others that's really, really good that I enjoyed. I also really like Inception and The Departed. I think both of those movies are fantastic.
Yeah.
If we're talking about the movie that brings me the most enjoyment in my life, it's the original Point Break with Keanu Reeves and Patrick Swayze.
Oh, sure.
Great movie.
That's a good one.
I like that movie is phenomenal. If you've never seen it, it is. I love, like, I actually adore that movie. It is not a good movie, but I adore it, right? But yeah, I think that you can like enjoy movies for very, very different reasons, and it's hard to like categorize them into like my top 3 because I like them for different reasons.
I am a massive audiophile and cinephile. Like, I fucking love movies. I love music. I love everything. I mean, the Croce and I have been talking about like vintage audio systems for a while now, but I've got like a home theater set up and like a nice TV and all that stuff, and I love it. But I mean, when it comes to movies and stuff, I'm very picky because I don't like stuff that I feel like I'm wasting my time watching. So like comedies are kind of hit or miss for me sometimes, but like I really like Step Brothers if I were like to pick a comedy. But turns out I'm just like a really huge Denis Villeneuve fan. Like the director, like Dune 2, Blade Runner, Sicario, probably Dune Part 3 when that comes out. Like those are all fantastic. And then like also really like No Country for Old Men.
That's a fantastic movie.
And I made Jason watch American Psycho, which was very fun. He was like super confused. I was like, you're still a child. Like I'm sitting there like cracking up through the entire movie because I just think the movie's hilarious. And he's like, I don't understand why this is funny. Like, it's okay.
It's someday. Someday you will. I think of like favorite movies almost as like I identify them with like periods of my life more than like current moment, I guess. My favorite movie as a teenager was Juno. I was obsessed with that movie. I thought it was like a very interesting take on the, I don't know, coming of age story with like complicated characters. And the first movie I saw with Japanese subtitles, which like set my life in a really weird trajectory as an adult, was Spirited Away.
Oh, yeah.
And that one changed a lot for me. And I also my most quoted movie with like my friends is still Superbad.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah.
Whenever we're like in the middle of like doing something and we like mess up or someone does something stupid, we're just like, why the fuck do they even make it like that if you can't even win? Like what? And yeah, I still love that movie. That one's held up really well. And then Christmas Vacation is like still our most watched movie every holiday. And
that's cool.
the scene when they're putting Eddie's dog food in the grocery cart for some reason. I'm inches like falling off the couch laughing at that still. Yeah, it's a great movie.
Sorry, I just remembered another movie. You were saying like, oh, like my teenage years movie.
Oh yeah.
Like this is a hot take, but Johnny Tsunami is just a fantastic movie.
Oh god.
I don't even know what that is.
I don't even know what that is.
Dude, it's a Disney Channel original movie about
Oh,
some guy.
Wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Some surfer guy that his grandfather is Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat, and he's actually just a
Sure.
surfer. And his dad moves to Vermont, and so he picks up snowboarding because snowboarding's good in Vermont, which is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
And then he races down the hill because with some skier because the skiers are dicks and the snowboarders are cool.
Imagine.
Very, very early on into Emily and my relationship, we both connected over the movie Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh, God,
Oh,
I love that
dude.
movie, dude. It's
I
so
have-
good.
Look at that, dude. That's all my.
No way. No
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. So I actually have a really cool story about this. I met
Okay.
Guillermo del Toro signing a poster at Comic-Con one year. So
Oh, sick.
if you ever come to my house, I actually have a Mondo poster that is Pan's Labyrinth. I have it's like a
Wow.
red and gray one or red and cream colored one. You can probably find it online, but there's only like 100 made. I have one on my wall, and
We're
then
still recording,
the alternate version of it is a purple and
No.
black one that's in Spanish. And there was only 35 of these things made, and I got one signed by Guillermo del Toro.
That's sick.
Unfortunately, I spent $75 on it and then sold it for like $400 that day, and but kept the red one. The poster is now worth like thousands of dollars, which makes me irritated. But whatever.
I also the whole segue to the stories and be like, yeah, Emily and I saw that movie and it sucked.
No. I think like we both independently liked the movie, and then as one does with their significant other, we're like, oh, have you seen this movie? Have you seen that movie? And one of us brought it up, and I think we both had thought like the other had never seen it, but we were both like really surprised that we both like really liked it. And then you had mentioned like Spirited Away. For me, that movie was Old Boy.
Oh, sure.
That really, really fucked up movie. It's really good. I like that movie a lot, but yeah, I don't know. It's just I'm like looking through my most watched, and like the original Mummy and like The Prestige.
That's a good one.
Oh, The Prestige is really good.
Like the original Matrix, I just adore, and like
Yeah.
I grew up watching like Top Gun. I love that movie so much.
310 to Yuma was another
Oh,
one
God,
that
that
I was
movie's
like really
incredible.
into. Yeah, I loved that movie. Gladiator was great.
Have you seen the original Total Recall?
Yeah,
I
it's really
didn't
good.
actually. Yeah.
It's shot on film and it looks incredible in 4K because
Yeah.
it's just it's okay. Anyway, that's our non-cEDH segment for the week.
Yeah. I think Johnny asked this question last week and we didn't get to
Okay.
it, so I'm sorry, but you asked it again, so thank you for repeating it. Have any of you ever had issues remembering triggers? I'm good at politicking and I see plays that some might not. However, I struggle to remember triggers at times. Have any of you had to improve at this, and how did you do it, if so?
Yeah,
Yes.
those or
Yeah.
a boogie board. Like boogie boards are really, really good for you can like write down all your triggers that you need to remember, and then also like stack pieces that you need to see on the board. Also, this is the first time I really like got to hang out with Waffle more than playing him for a few games. But he has a billion tokens, like actually a billion tokens, and just being able to just like throw triggers on the stack because it is your responsibility to remember your triggers, right? So
These are also
just
extremely visually distinct from cards.
Yep.
Yeah.
And if you are in the habit of using these infinite tokens or whatever, whiteboard tokens or whatever, whether it's gold saber tooth tokens, I don't know, pick something that doesn't look like a magic card and then just put it on the stack. And if you're forgetting that, put something on top of your wristic, or just get in the habit of someone casts a spell and you're like wristic, and you look down and you're like, oh, I don't have one. It's like, okay, well, moving on. But
one thing I really like doing just to like remind myself on some other things is putting a token and when I say a token, I don't mean like a card token, but like a dice on top of my deck if I have a Necropotence in play.
like a marker.
So I don't draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally anything, like a quarter, something that's just like, hey,
Like
don't,
on top of your
don't
library?
Look at that. Yeah, exactly.
I think something I do is like try to force myself to preemptively disclaimer in tournaments. Sometimes this is going to hurt you, but I preemptively announce other people's triggers that are related to things that I'm doing.
Hmm.
So I'll be like, I'm casting the spell, I'm not paying for study. I'm casting the spell, I'm good for your Lotho trigger. Like I announce them as they're happening so that I remember in my head what my game actions are impacting in like the game state. And sometimes that can give people who aren't good about their triggers resources that they might otherwise forget about.
Yeah.
But I think it's good for me to recognize, like there was a game this weekend where I could have slammed Cavern Voice, but I realized that there was an onboard Esper and onboard Fairy, and all it would have done was Mystical Tutor into a silence that the other players could force a draw out of. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to do this because I'm going to explode. So just like remembering, trying to force yourself to recognize how your game actions impact relevant triggers, I think is how I solve that problem for myself.
It's also that, like, exactly what you just said is exactly why we are not having problems with Ristic ending games correctly, right? Or like in time, is because we're just like preemptively being like, yeah, I don't care. Have a
Yeah, but I think that's a result of us playing together
Lots
and
and
us
lots.
influencing our like locals as well. Because if we're developing habits that aren't like negative, but they're just like a solution to keep the game flowing and stuff like that, other people are going to adopt them. And not to say that like we're the ones originating them, but we're definitely using them. So if other people see
Yeah.
it, then it just becomes second nature. And then like we move out of this space, and it's like we're just running into people that aren't used to being in the depths of that, and that's definitely challenging, especially for them and sometimes for us, you know, if the game's going slower and slowing down. But yeah, remembering your triggers is important because that's what this format is.
Yeah, true.
And like, especially if you're playing pickup games, maybe just like make it your homework assignment for the game. Like, I'm not going to drop a trigger like of anyone's, and just like force yourself to get into that capacity of holding space for all those.
Or if you're playing pickup games, find a trigger buddy, someone that is responsible for your triggers, and you like, hey, if I ever miss one, either tell me right then that I missed one, or write it down and tell me after the game I missed 19 smothering tithe triggers or whatever, and then I'll be really sad and be like, okay, I could have won because
I will also say something that's like helped me is like if you're essentially like out of the game and like you got blown out, like being the stack master helps you a lot in this situation, right? Like I will literally like move things off of my board and be like, yeah, I can just I'll take care of it, guys.
That happens so much when I play Maelstrom Wanderer. If I get like blown out or I stop, like, you know, I just cascade into nothing.
Yeah.
And people are like, oh, there's a stack battle happening. And then they like start putting cards on my board. Like, first of all, that's like a little presumptive.
But is
first
it
of all,
like
offensive? Second of all, sure, you can use my board.
You know what's really funny is I've actually done this with Helga a lot. Like I'm just like, oh, I'll sit on this. Like I'll be the stack master, right?
Yeah.
And then at the
meanwhile,
very
you're
end, I like
holding
throw
three
three pieces at it, and they're like, wait.
Yeah, it's like I'm not giving up everything. I'm just happy to help, you know?
Yeah.
This is probably the last question that I have time for, and then if you
Yeah,
guys
that
wanna
sounds
keep
good.
rolling.
No, I'm good.
Good.
Right. And then we'll have a few carryovers. We'll get to them next week. Thank you guys for submitting these. We really appreciate it.
Definitely.
From Rekisan, Ristic gets banned. What's the next card that makes a compelling argument to be banned or not? I think there's four that could reasonably catch a ban. I don't think they should, but they could. Tithe, Necroborn, Flood Color.
So my hot, like it's just Necro, right? Like it
Yeah, I mean,
absolutely is
Necro's actually the most broken card, like by
Yeah.
far.
Oh, I mean, okay, so realistically, like people are talking about bans, right? And like this might be a little bit of a tangent. Like if you just ban Born and Flood Color, it solves so many problems of our format, quote unquote problems, because like the Ristic stuff is like not a problem because people can't win at instant speed very much, and then like your Necro is also just like significantly worse because they can't win at their end step, right? Like
it also in like kind of a strange way inherently buffs green and red because you have Crop Rot and E-Zone and Final Fortune in those colors, and blue doesn't have the tools.
Yeah.
I guess you could technically play Alchemist Refuge, but you also need green for that too.
Yeah, and by no means am I saying that that's like what I would do, but I do think that like those are the actual problem cards, quote unquote, of the format. But if you were to ban, if Ristic catches a ban, the next card is Necropotence. Like
I don't know.
it's
Like
the true
I think
actual
Necro is like a
boogeyman.
pretty fair card. It's the other cards that go with it that are unfair.
It's the stuff
I
that
don't.
enables it, right?
No, Necro's a fair card because you just hold a counterspell for it.
Yeah, but like you can make that argument about everything, right? Like it's like dies to bolt argument, which is a bad argument, or
Kind
dies to
of.
fatal push argument, which is like a bad argument most of the time.
But if you
It's
look
not
at
that
like
simple though.
Necro and Sans blue decks, where it's like you have sorcery speed Necro unless you trip and fall on an E zone,
Yeah.
it's not as much of a problem. Like it's still a problem. You're sculpting your like perfect hand to push the next turn, but I don't think it's as inherently broken.
I disagree quite
It's
a
like
bit.
Necro and
but
Glarb.
It's whatever.
Necro and Glarb is really strong, but it's not. There's no Necro pile. Like you're not Necroing for 35.
Yeah, but like if you need to, you can, right?
You
Like
need to, you can, but then what do you Necro into? You have to Necro into specifically Born or High Fae, which I don't even know that Glarb's running High Fae, right? And then you have to develop into rocks into Thassa Decon? Like, that's not excellent.
sure, I see what you're saying, but I still think that like if we're talking about like a card that's like inherently powerful that draws 35 cards, like Necro is that card.
Yep.
Yes, there's like
Oh,
significant drawbacks to it, but like it's still insane. And people will just
Yeah.
like born like without those with the 2 flash enablers still in the format, like Necro is just the best strategy if Ristic goes.
And I actually like Tithe is pretty mid if Ristic goes. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
like
don't
still
think Tithe is a
finding that
problem
for
anymore.
Mystic, but yeah,
I just think
like Necro is by far the best.
yeah, like and without like Ristic players, so like okay, if Ristic goes, then there's like a lot less decks designed to be able to like fight, like that want to get into the mid range, right? So then people are just like gonna resolve Necro way more and way easier, and they just convert them way easier and way more. Like I think that play pattern just like
That's
is
yeah, I agree
so
with
much
that.
worse. The only deck that like would be able to fight Necro on like a power level deck, and like I'm not actually joking, is a deck that wants to play Heartwood Storyteller, and like that's really bad.
Well, I don't think Ristic fights Necro at all. Like at least not typically, because if you're tapping out to cast a Ristic and then someone behind you taps out and casts a Necro, you're already like you're dead unless you have a free counter
Yeah,
spell.
but Rog Ishai can fight that with their Ristic so easily.
But that's raw. That's one deck.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it's just one deck anymore. I think it's a whole archetype.
Kinnan has trouble with it, I think.
Sometimes, yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. But like even then, Kinnan's not on like Kinnan is on like 14 pieces of stack interaction at this point. Cope Farm is on way more. My Rogthras deck is on way more. Rog Ishai is on way more. Like they're a lot of these decks can fight a Necro like relatively easy. Like I'm not scared of a turn 2 Necro on my deck at all.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't see well, actually, I didn't see a Necro all weekend period, which was crazy, but I haven't seen one in a while that I didn't have an answer to, that I couldn't like force them into a fair Necro,
Yeah.
quote unquote.
But if you take away Ristic as like something that I can try to that like my game plan is around, and like take away the draw engine to be able to fight some of these like ultra powerful effects like Necro and Adnaz, like I just think it's Necro. Like
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I think it's a little semantics as to whether it's like Tithe or Necro is next. Tithe is still incredibly broken without Ristic. Obviously, it's way stronger with it, but just the fact that you can pay 4 mana and immediately refund yourself 1, if not more, before your turn cycle's over.
Yeah.
And then like that's breaking fundamental rules of Magic. It's like, why do we have the mana system anymore? Because even if there's no Ristic, it's like, okay, I'm untapping with 7 more mana than what I started with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do think
that's
that
like,
there is also a possibility. I don't think it's in the same category as Necro, but like I do think that Cradle strategies just get so good if Ristics go.
If Ristic goes, I think like Rockfast is like the best deck in the format, which is annoying.
Because it doesn't have to run Ristic anymore.
Yeah.
Like I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that just because like I don't think they have like the answers. Most Rogdrasses don't have the answers to like fight turbo decks by itself, right?
Sure.
But if Dracios is like the best draw engine, then it's kind of like, okay, well,
yeah,
that's not fun, you know.
No, you don't. We don't want to be in a world where everyone's just. I guess I'll spin Thras 3 hours later.
Yeah, that's so bad. That would be bad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, I think that's all we have time for tonight. Question wise, we'll ask again next week, and then we'll get to any ones that we didn't cover this week in depth.
Yeah.
Dude, the next question is spicy, bro.
It is really spicy. I do need to. But if you guys want to talk about it,
no, it's okay. We should wrap up.
We're good. We should.
I think for now, join the April League. So that's going on. If you're already a member, please join. It will be a little bit shorter, but that's okay. And then after that, we've got the Fringefest Sprint League. That's a little hard to say sometimes. And that'll run from the 18th till the end of the month. The chance you can win a whole lot of money for playing some weird decks, which is very cool. And then we've got some bigger events going on outside of that. Oh yeah, I didn't say we're going to MagicCon.
You guys are going to MagicCon.
We are going. Yes, Jordan and I are going to MagicCon.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
come say hi. Come hang out with us.
Yeah, we'll give out details where we're going to be and all that stuff when we get a little closer to that. But that's going to be our first experience with that, so that should be very fun.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Anything else?
Awesome. No, I don't think so.
Alrighty. Cool. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next week.